second story. Let's get into it. The TV glowed brightly, controllers cords everywhere. The room was tense, way too tense for a Mario Party 10 minigame. On screen, a spotlight challenge. 5 people slash YouTubers are fighting to stand in the lights for points. In real life, 5 people are fighting like it was a national competition. Eddie pointed at the screen, saying, "Okay, whoever gets the spotlight the most wins. Simple." Female tennis ball immediately leaned forward, saying, "No, I'm winning, I don't care." Aluminum shrugged, saying, "I'm just here." Mass Paper cracked his knuckles, saying, "I'm about to cook." Square Dude said nothing. Just picked up his controller. Okay. Menacing silence. Character picks. Eddie picked Princess Peach. Female tennis ball picked Daisy. Very on brand. Aluminum picked Mario. Okay. Mass Paper picked Luigi and Square Dude picked my least favorite, Yoshi. The round started. Round 1, the spotlight moved, everyone scrambled. Female tennis ball immediately went insane, saying, "Move, move, get out of my way." She showed everyone's characters like her life depended on it. Eddie tried to stay balanced, saying, "Stop pushing." Aluminum was just walking, saying, "I'll get there eventually." Mass Paper got close, so close, he stepped into the spotlight saying yes, and immediately got launched out by Yoshi. Silently, no warning. Mass Paper says who? Square Dude said nothing. Didn't even blink. Just stood there. He basically gave Mass Paper the Fort Blink treatment. In the spotlight, perfectly still, timer ended. Square Dude won that one. Mass Paper says that was personal. Square Dude says skill. Round 2. Female tennis ball says, "Okay, no, not happening again." The round started. She went feral. Full aggression, shoving everyone. Eddie got pushed out immediately, saying hello. Aluminum got bumped but didn't react, saying that's crazy. Mass Paper tried again, got in, saying hold on. And then Yoshi slid in. Softly, quietly, bop. Mass Paper got knocked out again, saying bro. Square Dude remained silent, standing there like a statue. Winning again. Female tennis ball slammed her controller, saying, "Why is he so quiet?" Eddie says he's not even saying anything. Aluminum says that's the scary part. No, the scary part was because Square Dude crashed out in the last story. This is his revenge right here. Round 3. Mass Paper was determined, saying, "I'm not losing again." The round started chaos, absolute chaos. Female tennis ball was basically tackling people digitally, saying, "Get out! Get out!" Eddie tried to sneak in, immediately shoved out, saying, "I can't even get in." Aluminum casually walked toward the light, got pushed out accidentally, saying, "Oh." Mass Paper got perfect positioning right in the center, saying, "This is it." Final seconds, he says, "This is my moment." And then Yoshi, from nowhere, slides in, knocking him out and taking the spotlight. And the timer ends. Mass Paper dropped his controller, saying, "I'm being targeted." Square Dude blinked once. Positioning. Female tennis ball says he's lying. Round 4, Eddie says, "Okay, I haven't won once." Aluminum agrees with that. Female tennis ball says, "I refuse to lose again." Mass Paper says, "I'm watching Yoshi this time." Square Dude, silent. Because he's oral farming right now. This is his revenge from last story. The round started. Female tennis ball went even harder. Pause. Nobody could stand near her. Eddie got pushed out again, saying, "Why is it always me?" Aluminum got bumped and just accepted it, saying, "I'll just stand over here." Maz Paper stayed right next to Yoshi, saying, "I'll see you." Final seconds, Maz Paper in the spotlight. Yoshi right behind him. Maz Paper says, "Not this time." Yoshi didn't move. Maz Paper smiled, saying, "I win." Last second, Yoshi did the smallest nudge, tiny, barely noticeable. Maz Paper flew out of the spotlight, saying, "No." Timer ended. Yoshi wins again. Maz Paper stood up, saying, "I'm done." Female Tennis Ball was yelling, "How is he doing that?" Eddie was laughing, he doesn't even move. Aluminum says he's a ninja. Square Dude finally spoke. "You all move too much." Silence. They all stared at him. Saying what? Final round, everything on the line. Female Tennis Ball cracked her neck. Dang! This girl, mom, she is insane in this. I'm winning this one. Man's Paper, I'm watching him the whole time. Eddie says I just want one win. Aluminum says I'm still here. Square Dude, silent. The 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 round began. Female Tennis Ball went full try hard. Eddie tried to stay in, failed instantly, saying, "I give up." Aluminum got close almost, then just stopped trying, saying, "Nah." Mass Paper glued himself to Yoshi, saying, "You are not moving." Final seconds, Mass Paper in the spotlight. Yoshi standing right next to him. Maz says you can't. Yoshi didn't move, didn't touch him. Timer ticking down, saying, "Wait." Last second, Yoshi stepped forward slightly. Maz Paper got nudged out again. Timer ended, and Square Dude won again. So this dude has gotten his revenge and won every single one of these. The room exploded. Female Tennis Ball says this is rigged. Eddie says he didn't even try. Aluminum says he just exists. Mass Paper sat back down slowly, saying, "I was right there every time." Square Dude set the controller down, saying, "And yet silence." Everyone stared at him. Mass Paper says, "I hate this game." Square Dude nodded, saying, "GG's." So Aluminum's just vibing. Eddie permanently gets bullied, basically. Female Tennis Ball aggressive but unlucky. Mass Paper almost every time. And Square Dude's the untouchable menace. So he's basically like Frozen BFDIA. I take back what I said earlier. This was the best one.